Hi everybody, today we're going to be looking at page 608 in our e-textbook. You have it pulled up on your side and I have it pulled up on my side, so we're going to look at the same thing together. On 608, the page, it has a try it section. There is a line graph at the bottom right corner. Do you see it? Okay, perfect. That's the graph that we're going to be using to answer the next 4 questions. Now remember, when you're looking at graphs, the most important thing to do before you even try to answer questions is learn the graph. Learn what it's representing. Learn what the data is representing. For this graph, it's showing it's showing distance in miles and time in hours. It's showing a ski boat and a houseboat, okay? All right, so our first question: what is the unit rate of the ski boat? And at this rate, how far will it travel in 6 hours? Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through this. You need to look at just the ski boat, okay? We need to go to the 1, right, for time, 1 hour. And then we're just going to go up. And where does the line meet? That's right, you just look over next to where it says distance in miles. If you go over 1, up, it's at 30. So every hour, the ski boat is traveling 30 miles. You guys are so smart. Okay, there's our answer for the first question, the first part of the question. The second part of the question wants to know how far will it travel in 6 hours? Well, 6 times 30. We can do that, right? We can even do that in our head. Our math in our head is sometimes okay. Or you can write it out on your pencil. 30 times 6 is 180. So the ski boat travels 30 miles per hour. And in 6 hours, the ski boat will travel 180 miles. We answered our first question. Okay, let's go to question 2. The second question asks, how much further does the ski boat travel than the houseboat travels in 2 hours? Okay, so get your pen and paper. I'm going to walk you through it. Okay? You need to determine how many miles the ski boat travels in 2 hours. So we know that the ski boat travels 30 miles per hour, so 30 plus 30 is 60. Perfect. If the ski boat travels 60 miles in 2 hours, now it's time for us to look at the houseboat. The houseboat on our graph, go to 1 hour and go up to where it meets and look over. What do you see? 20. The houseboat travels 20 miles per hour. Okay? So the ski boat travels 60 miles per 2 hours. The houseboat travels 20 miles in 2 hours. They want to know how much further does the ski boat travel than the houseboat in 2 hours. Well, tell me what we do. That's right, 60 for the ski boat minus 20 for the houseboat. You get 40. The ski boat travels 40 more miles per hour in 2 hours. You guys are smart. Let's move to the third question. The third question says, let x equal the number of times faster the ski boat travels than the houseboat travels. Solve 30 equals 10x. Guys, you've done this 1,000 times. Okay. What I've always taught you guys is if our x is on the right side, let's move it to the left side. So let's say instead of 30 equals 10x, let's say 10x equals 30. Right? Now you know what to do. Divide by 10 on each side. What do you get? X equals 3. So the ski boat travels 3 times as fast as the houseboat. Okay, our last question, guys. We are going through this so fast. You are so smart. The fourth question asks, based on the trend shown, meaning what we're seeing on our line graph, is it reasonable to predict that the ski boat will always travel further than the houseboat in the same amount of time? Okay, look at our line graph. Is there a pattern? There is. The houseboat every hour travels 20 miles per hour. Every hour the ski boat travels. Right. So if the lines of our graphs for the ski boat and the houseboat are consistently with each hour, each time that goes on, our answer is yes. The ski boat and the houseboat will always be traveling at the same speed at the same amount of miles per hour. So the ski boat will always travel further than the houseboat consistently. Guys, we just answered those 4 questions using that line graph, and I'm so proud of you. If your question gives you a graph, if your question gives you any kind of information, use it. Always use the data that they give you, because they're giving you what you need. You just have to use your knowledge, your math knowledge, your fundamentals, your math rules to answer your questions. You guys did it. I'm so proud of you. I'll see you next time.